him in John 19. It says, "Where they crucified him, and two others with him, one on either side, Jesus in the center. Now Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross, and the writing was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Then many of the Jews read this title, for the place where Jesus was crucified is near the city, and it was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. Therefore the chief priests of the Jews said to Pilate, do not write the King of the Jews. But he said, I am the King of the Jews. Pilate answered, what have I written? I have written. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified him, took his garments and made them into 4 parts for each soldier a part, and also his tunic. Now the tunic was without seam, woven from the top to the one place. In other words, there was no seams in it. It was a very expensive garment, put it that way. They said, therefore, among themselves, let us not tear it, but let us cast lots for it, for whose shall it be? And the scripture might be fulfilled, which says, and this was written in the Psalms, they divided my garments among them, and my clothing they cast lots. Therefore the soldiers did these things. Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, and Mary the wife of Caiaphas, and Mary Magdalene. So there are 3 Marys there. Then Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved, that's John, standing by. He said to his mother, woman, behold your son. And then he said to his disciple, behold your mother. And from that day forward, John, his disciple, took her to be into his own home. Jesus, knowing that all things were accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. And so here we see Jesus on the cross. We see fulfilling, if you look at all of the fulfillments, I was reading the book of Zechariah the other day. It had him riding a donkey peacefully. A king shall ride a donkey into the temple area. A king would normally ride a horse, but Zechariah prophesied there would be a king of peace that would ride a donkey. He also said that they would cast 30 pieces of silver back into the temple, talking about Judas. There's so many things that were written 1,500 years before Jesus was on the scene. But what I want you to see today is, number one, Mary finally had to figure out what Jesus was talking about. He told his disciples and he told his mother what was going to happen to him. He said, they're going to kill me and I'm going to rise up on the 3rd day. When the day came, they still didn't understand it. They really didn't. Only Mary of Bethany understood it. She understood because she anointed him for his burial, literally days before. So when you look at the story of Mary and Joseph, they really didn't understand what he was going to have to go through. Even his closest disciples and apostles really didn't understand what was going to happen. You know, he said, I'm going to die and they're going to raise me up. They've never seen it before. They heard about it in the Bible, but here he is raised up, right? And so when we see him here, he is the oldest son and he commissions the care of his mother to John. John was the youngest of the apostles, and John took her into his own home. And history tells us that she lived with John, and wherever he ministered, she went with him. And so Mary isn't that much older. She probably is about 45 here, because Jesus, maybe 48, because Jesus was 30 when he started. And so anyway, that's our story for today. Please share, follow, like, and make a comment. Also, please pray about becoming a partner with us. If you haven't partnered with us, please pray about it. We need you. We need funds so that we can continue to build not just these weekly Bible studies, whether they range from a minute, 5 minutes, or an hour, but also curriculums where we go into a studio and produce professionally done curriculums. And we give them away for free. That's our ministry. So God bless you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.